Hey everyone, welcome back to Nothing But Dicta, the podcast of only opinions and no facts. I'm your host, Andrew Tuvlin, and today I have a guest with me, Mr. Kyle Atwood. Kyle, could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrew, for having me on. I'm a third-year student here at GW Law and the president of the Federalist Society. Excited to talk about the program.
Yeah, so excited to have you on. Thank you for coming. And so the Federalist Society is known around campus for having some of the best stickers on campus. Could you talk a little bit about, what goes into the sticker making process?
Yeah, actually, our national chapter does most of the stickers, so I can't take credit for that, but they love their pop culture references.
Fair enough. And, they didn't come here for the stickers, actually. So could you talk a little bit about what the Federalist Society is and then also what your role within the organization is as well?
Absolutely. So jokingly, our second claim to fame is our food. We try to have the best food on campus, but other than that, we're a place for conservative and libertarian speakers and students to gather to talk about ideas. We try to have as many debates as possible, so we have that competition of ideas, the marketplace, if you will, and just give opportunities for everybody to debate and to take in as much law as they can from different perspectives.
So when you have these debates, what kind of do you have speakers who are participating in the debates? I guess I'm asking, are these students participating? Are these people you bring in from outside the school to participate? What kind of debates are being held?
So we have a pretty robust roster of speakers within the FedSoc network who usually like to come and speak with us. So that could be practitioners, it could be judges, it could be academics. So those are our big three draws usually. So we draw from our network as well as, in terms of the debates, we try to draw from the GW Law faculty, find somebody local who could talk about the other side of those ideas as well.
As a 1L, when you got involved, I'm assuming you got involved as a 1L, and as a 1L, when you got involved, what was the original draw to you, and then did you find that the organization met your expectations, what you were looking for?
My story is probably unique from other students. I think everybody has a different draw as to why they come to FedSoc. For me, the Amy Coney Barrett hearings are going on when I was in undergrad, so I kind of heard about Federalist Society coming into law school, and that's what drew me to the organization because I already knew about it coming in. Some students might hear about it at our student org fair, which we have in the fall, and just coming by and seeing some of those stickers or some of the other programs we advertise. Everybody comes in a different way. But I think everybody stays, again, because of that marketplace of ideas. They get different views from perhaps what they're getting from their professors in classes and just getting to meet other students and talk as well.
What has been your most recent event on campus, and how do you feel like it went?
Our most recent was with Professor David Bernstein from George Mason University. He talked about the Students for Fair Admissions case that came down this past summer. That one went pretty well, and then we have a couple of debates coming up, one with a former GW professor and a current GW professor on the administrative state. So they'll be debating the merits of that program as well as some of the constitutional issues that have come up in the past couple of years. And then our second is going to be a conversation between two judges in the District of DC. Both of those will be at the end of February.
And you mentioned a professor from George Mason. Is it pretty common to have events featuring professors or people from other schools? Do you do a lot of cross-school events, I should say?
Yes, we do. So George Mason is pretty common. They're well known as a big Federalist Society school. Catholic's another big one. We're on the way up, I would say. But each school in the DC area has different specialties. So ours is probably the administrative law. We have a lot of those types of programs because of the DC culture, if you will. Georgetown is especially good in terms of constitutional law. George Mason historically has been known for law and economics, but Professor Bernstein brings in a different specialty as well. So all those schools provide something different. We kind of work together to bring various programs to the schools.
And what has been your favorite event that you've attended so far?
Man, we've had some good ones. We had Judge Nelson from the Ninth Circuit at the beginning of this semester, which was a fantastic event. He was talking about history and tradition and its role in constitutional law, something that's kind of it's been in Supreme Court opinions for probably the past couple of decades, but has been really blew up after the last term with Kennedy v. Bremerton, the Bruin decision, and a few others. So that was exciting to see how that's been developing and how it's going to progress in the future.
1L year, especially the spring, extremely stressful, as you know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of work to be done. So, in a pretty blunt question, why should a 1L make some time to go to these Federalist Society events?
Right. Well, we feed you, which is the big one.
That is always a huge draw too.
Exactly, yeah.
And 2Ls and 3Ls, let's be real.
Yeah, we don't discriminate in terms of class, but yeah, Chick-fil-A and Panera is what we usually try to serve. But other than that, competition of ideas, I think expanding out, especially for students who are interested in constitutional law, because it's kind of what Federalist Society is built around. We talk about other ideas or other areas of law as well. That's the big one. If you have any interest in that area of law, but also just meeting students and connecting with people. We're probably one of the more social organizations on campus. Our group chat is as lively as ever. We have about 70 people in the group chat. So just getting to talk to fellow students. It's an open environment. You don't have to be afraid about speaking particular views. You don't have to have conservative or libertarian views necessarily in an organization. We love to hear what everyone has to say. So that's the big draw is really the people.
And why do you think it's important to have a Federalist Society in general?
Well, I think a lot of law schools tend to lean a little bit more left, just the way they developed over the years. So the Federalist Society balances that out a little bit and provides a space for speakers from across different schools to come together and present some of those ideas and have the marketplace, if you will, which is important not only for making sure students can hear various perspectives, but also that it reinforces their challenges and ultimately strengthens the best ideas. Mm-hmm. So the best of the best kind of rise to the top, if you will. So it's important to have that balance so that we have the best coming out of it.
I know a pressing issue on a lot of the minds of 1Ls is summer internships, which is actually the topic of our most previous episode of Nothing But Dicta before this. Are there any sort of recruiting events or networking opportunities or even just databases of Federalist Society alumni that 1Ls in the organization would be able to use to help them during this recruiting process?
Absolutely. We have a pretty robust network of alumni who have been a part of the GW chapter. Obviously, if you're a part of Federalist Society in general as well, Federalist Society members love helping out their own. We also have a lot of job opportunities. I think I get emails every other week from our national chapter about various internship programs. Obviously, clerkships are huge for Federalist Society members. That's a big draw for us is our connection with judges at speaking events, but also getting to follow up with them for those clerkship opportunities as well. So definitely lots of chances for students to get involved outside of law school. Mm-hmm.
And then, thinking back on your time in the Federalist Society, is there any moment that really stands out to you as, something that you would not have gotten had you not joined this organization?
Yeah, I think in combination with being in D.C., having so much here, the Federalist Society also being based out of D.C., you get everybody from across the country coming to this city alone just to meet at our National Lawyers Convention, which is usually in November. You get to see people from all over the country, hear ideas from all over the country. I heard Supreme Court justices from my home state of Texas on the SCOTEX talk about their program over there. In that court, you get Alabama, other states as well. I think that's the big draw. Is it's a national program, and it's exciting to see what's going on across the country.
Mm-hmm. And so obviously there's an opportunity for 1Ls to join in as members, but the organization doesn't function just based on members. When these 1Ls are looking forward to 2L, maybe joining the e-board, is there anything they should be considering as they're thinking about what kind of leadership opportunities they want to take within the organization?
Yeah, so for starters, we have usually 3 to 5 1L rep spots open, like a lot of organizations, one for each of the ends. So that's a great opportunity to get involved and connect with some of our senior leadership, just kind of see how our chapter is run. And then after that, we have elections. I think we have about 10 to 15 positions on our board right now, ranging from my position, president, all the way down to clerkship chair and social chair, stuff like that. So lots of opportunities for students to get involved and see the organization at different angles.
All right, and as everyone knows, the big prize for coming on Nothing But Dicta is now you get to plug your organization once again. So Kyle, if you could talk a little bit about how 1Ls, 2Ls, and 3Ls can get involved with the Federalist Society, what your upcoming events are, and what you're looking to get out of the rest of the semester.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, come out to our events. We have one on February 22nd at 6 p.m. That's the debate between Professor Morrison, or Dean Morrison rather, and Professor Mascott, also over at George Mason. And then on the 28th, we're bringing in Judge McFadden from the District of D.C., and then his fellow judge, Judge Reyes, as well. And that one's on the 28th at noon.
So how do you actually get the location or sign up? Is there a sign up event?
Yes, so the debate on the 22nd is a sign up. We have flyers up for that already. So if you look for the QR code on our flyers, I believe they're blue is the color of those. Those are up around campus, and the one for the 28th will be going up pretty shortly, probably in the next week here. You don't have to sign up for most of our general admission events. Just look for the room number. I think that one will be Lerner 202, again for the 28th.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much for coming on Nothing But Dicta. It's my honor to have you as a guest on this show. And to my special audience members, if you or a friend would like to come on Nothing But Dicta, reach out to my email, andrewtuvlin@law.gwu.edu. Kyle, once again, thank you for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. This is a great program.
All right, we'll see everyone in the next episode.